Stop scrolling right now. Someone who was made for you just made a choice that changes the direction of your entire life. They don't know you're watching this. They don't even know your name yet. But heaven does. And heaven sent you here, on purpose. If you close this video in the next 10 seconds, you may miss the one word written for this exact moment in your life. So breathe. Sit still. And let me speak to you. My beloved child. I have been waiting for this moment, to speak with you. Not because I was silent before. I have never been silent. But because you were not ready to hear this until now. Today is different. Today, something shifts. This is not a coincidence. You did not stumble onto this video by accident. I orchestrated this moment, down to the second. While you were doing something else. Someone connected to your future made a decision. They did not tell anyone. There was no announcement, no witnesses except me. But in the quiet of their own heart, in a moment only I saw. They chose something different. And that choice is about to change your life. The waiting season. I know this season has felt heavy. I have watched you lie awake at night, wondering when your turn would come. I have seen you scroll through pictures of other people's weddings, and felt that quiet ache in your chest you don't say out loud. I have heard the prayers you whispered when no one else was listening. God, am I going to be alone forever? Did you forget about me? Child. I did not forget you. I do not forget the ones I am preparing. The length of your waiting is not a measurement of my forgetfulness. It is a measurement of my precision. I do not rush what I intend to bless. A garden planted in a day does not bear fruit in a day. A house built carelessly does not withstand a storm. But what I build slowly stands long after the storms have passed. What has been happening on the other side? While you were healing, they were healing too. While you were learning to release bitterness, they were going through their own refining process. They were letting go of relationships that drained them. They were walking away from people who spoke to their body, but never to their spirit. They were asking themselves hard questions. Am I becoming someone worthy of the love I keep praying for? Most people avoid these questions their whole lives. But your soulmate did not avoid them. They sat with the discomfort. They let me search them. And recently, they made a choice, because of what they found. The choice. I want to tell you exactly what happened. They looked at the pattern of their past relationships. The ones that ended in heartbreak. The ones that taught them who they never want to become again. And they made a decision. They chose alignment over convenience. They chose to stop settling for what was easy and start preparing for what was real. Somewhere recently, they turned down something. An opportunity, a person, a temptation. That would have delayed everything I have planned for both of you. It was not an easy choice. It required discipline. It required trusting a promise they could not yet see. But they made it anyway. And child, that single choice sent a ripple through the spiritual realm. That ripple is now reaching you. How I work. I do not force two hearts together before both are ready. Rushed connection breaks under pressure it was never built to hold. I prepare both sides separately. Quietly. On my own timeline. Not on the timeline of social media. Not on the timeline you had planned in your own heart. Your healing has never been separate from their preparation. Every tear you cried when no one was watching, I counted it. Every night you chose peace over temptation, I saw it. It was working. It was building something you could not see yet. And now, the pieces are moving. Not because you forced them. Because I ordained them to move at exactly this time. Why hope feels dangerous. I know some of you are afraid to believe this. You have hoped before. You have been disappointed before. So hope feels dangerous now. It feels safer to expect nothing. I understand that instinct. But I did not carry you through every disappointment, just to let you drown in cynicism now. Hope is not naive. Hope is trust, wearing its Sunday clothes. I am asking you to trust me again. One more time. Not because circumstances have changed, but because I have not changed. I was faithful before you ever doubted me. I remain faithful now. What I need you to do now: stop performing readiness, and start actually living it. Stop trying to look healed, and let me heal you. Because what is coming requires someone whole to receive it. Not someone perfect. Whole. Someone who has stopped bleeding on people who never cut them. Someone who can receive goodness without sabotaging it out of fear. Is that who you are becoming? If not yet, that is all right. I am not finished with you. Do not waste this season. Let me strip away what is not needed. Because what is coming deserves a whole vessel to receive it. The promise. I told you I would restore what the difficult years took from you. I meant it. I told you what is written for you cannot be stolen. I meant that too. So when you feel the pressure of waiting, remember this word. Someone, somewhere, just chose you back, in the spirit. Long before you will ever see it, in the natural. They may not know your name yet. But I do. And I am connecting every loose thread that needs to be connected. In my time. In my way. Not a moment too soon. Not a moment too late. Signs this season is shifting. Watch for unexpected peace. Where there used to be anxious striving. Watch for disinterest in people who used to tempt you. That is discernment I am giving you. Watch for dreams. A persistent thought. A name that keeps surfacing without explanation. I speak in whispers, before I speak in shouts. You may feel a strange readiness. Trust that feeling. It is not wishful thinking. It is spiritual discernment. A warning against self-sabotage. Do not let impatience push you into the arms of someone who was never mine to give you. Do not let loneliness convince you to settle for counterfeit love, just because it showed up first. A counterfeit will always arrive, before the real thing. It is testing whether you have learned your lesson, or whether you will repeat the same painful cycle. Do not fail the test, in the final stretch of the race. Stay anchored in me. So when the real thing arrives, you recognize it. To the one who is tired. Maybe you're just tired. Tired of hoping. Tired of hearing your season is coming, and feeling nothing change. I see that exhaustion. Rest, child. You do not have to strive for what I have already ordained. You do not have to chase what was already assigned to find you. Lay the weariness down at my feet tonight. Let me carry what you were never meant to carry alone. A letter to your past self. Think back. To the version of you that existed 3 years ago. That version believed lies about their worth. Thought maybe they were simply unlovable. I never left you behind. I was doing surgery on your heart, that took longer than you wanted. If I had given you what you asked for back then, you would have received it with the same wounds. I loved you too much to let that happen. So I waited. I worked. I rebuilt, piece by piece, the parts of you that other people shattered. Look at how far you have come. That growth was not an accident. What your soulmate is feeling right now. They are feeling anticipation and uncertainty. They don't fully understand what is shifting, but they can sense something is different. They have started praying differently. Not desperate prayers, but the quiet, steady prayers of someone finally ready to receive. Sometimes a face they cannot picture crosses their mind. They don't know why, but it feels important. That, child, is you. I have been planting your presence in their spirit, long before your paths physically cross. The danger of comparison. You measure your timeline against theirs. Why did it happen for them and not for me yet? Comparison is a thief. Their story is not your story. Stop measuring your obedience against someone else's outcome. Trust the process I designed, specifically for you. Learning to receive. One of the hardest lessons I teach is not how to love. It's how to receive love. So many of you have poured yourselves out until you were empty. But love that is only one-sided is not the love I designed for you. I am preparing you to receive without feeling guilty, without sabotaging it because it feels unfamiliar. This is uncomfortable work, but it is necessary. Part 16, when the enemy whispers doubt. Right when a promise is closest to manifesting, doubt often grows louder, not quieter. A voice may say, "This is not for you. Do not be shaken by this." Recognize it for what it is. A distraction, designed to make you abandon faith right before the harvest. Hold steady. Keep your eyes on me. The courage to let go. Some of you are still holding on to something I have already released you from. What I have for you cannot arrive while your hands are still full of what I asked you to release. Letting go is not giving up. Letting go is making room. I know it is hard. You only have to stop holding on tighter than I am asking you to. Trusting the timing. Everything I have ever built that lasted, I built slowly. The strongest trees are not the ones that grew the fastest. They are the ones whose roots went deepest, before the trunk ever grew tall. I am growing your roots right now. Not your branches yet. Your roots. Roots do not get applause. But without roots, nothing you build above ground will survive the first real storm. What to do while you wait? I want you to build. Build your relationship with me. Build your character. Build a life so full of purpose that when your soulmate arrives, they are adding to an already beautiful life, not rescuing you from an empty one. The healthiest connections are not built between two people who need each other to survive. They are built between two people who are already whole, choosing to walk forward together. The closing word. I am not done writing your story. I am only just beginning to write the chapters you have been waiting your whole life to read. The choice has already been made, on the other side. What remains is simply the unfolding of what I have already set in motion. Trust me a little longer, beloved. Watch closely now. Watch how I bring what was spoken into what is seen. If this word moved something in your spirit, do not let it pass silently. Type, I receive it, right now, while it is still fresh. Agreement releases what silence delays. If you know someone who has been waiting, send this to them right now. You may be the answer to a prayer they prayed last night. Subscribe. Turn on the bell. Stay ready. This is not the end of your story, beloved. This is the turning point. I will see you in the next word.